Welcome to Soul, a weekly entertainment show on fashion, arts and culture, relationships, and mental health. Our co-hosts are Imani Warren and Dr. Delvena Thomas. Now introducing our host, Nicky Says YOLO, Nicky Gelin.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of MIA. So, I am your host. I'm Nicky Says You Only Live Once, and we have a special guest today. So, again, y'all, it's another production at the Marshall L. Davis Jr., not junior, but senior African Heritage Cultural Arts Center, and they have a production called Jesus Hopped the A Train. Now let's welcome director Teddy Harrell to MIA Soul.
Thank you very much, Nicky.
How you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you? I love what you have on and the background. You look great.
Thank you for noticing that. And your background is great as well. And we're going to talk about that. So for those that may not know, tell us briefly about your background and how did you come into the arts?
Well, I came into the arts when I was a youngster. Of course, you know how we all sang in the choir and then we get the bug and go into acting, majored in musical theater at the University of Miami. Also, I was at Miami-Dade College before that. Didn't finish my studies at University of Miami because I auditioned for this singing group called The Drifters, who was a 50s and 60s group. And then I went on the road with them in Europe, singing with them in Spain and in London, came back and then went back into theater, formed my own theater company here in Miami-Dade County, one of the second African-American companies in Miami-Dade County back in the early 2000s. I've directed over 25 productions. Wow. I've been in a lot of plays and musicals and sang in a lot of different places around Miami-Dade County and also Broward and West Palm Beach and also around the region of Georgia and throughout the United States. So I've done some things. And also then I directed this group called Ladies of Simone, which was based on the music of Nina Simone, which we did right here at our Cultural Arts Center. Simply Simone, the music of Nina Simone. That group actually got recognized for a Carbonell Award. And then lo and behold, just wonderful vocalists. They've been doing that particular music throughout Miami-Dade County and Broward County as a concert version. So that's a little bit of how I got started in this wonderful world of theater and the arts. And I just love the arts, love what we do.
Yeah, just a little bit, Okay. So now let's talk about Jesus Hopped on the A Train. What is it and what can we expect?
Yeah, Jesus Hopped the A Train, written by Stephen Adley Gurgis, an incredible writer. He wrote some other plays that you may know too as well. But one of the plays he wrote was called That MF with the Hat, which is actually was on Broadway with the comedian. I'm drawing a blank. The comedian got slapped by Will Smith. I'll say it like that.
Oh, Chris Rock.
Chris Rock, there you go. Chris Rock is actually a wonderful actor. He really is. I don't know. Some people got their things, but I love Chris Rock. And he started on Broadway with this incredible play. He got rave reviews on Broadway with the play. And this play, Jesus Hopped the A Train, is one of Stephen Adley Gurgis' wonderful plays that won a Pulitzer Prize for the play. It was directed by the late Philip Seymour Hoffman when it was done in the West End and when it was also done on Broadway. And then just a little bit about the play. The play takes place in Rikers Island when two prisoners on death row meet. I don't want to give too much away because Nicky, because I heard you coming to see one of the shows. Hint, hint. No. So great. Thank you so much. You got comp tickets too. And I can tell you that there's just some wonderful dialogue in the play, wonderful drama in the play. It talks about the whole criminal system of what goes on behind the prisons, what these two prisoners go through, the attorney, and it's just incredible drama around incredible comedy too as well.
Oh, there's comedy too as well. Okay.
Yeah, you know, you find it in the words. And the audiences that have come out, we've had some great houses, some great reviews. They're just all loving this play. and it makes you laugh, it makes you cry, it makes you sit back, it makes you sit on the edge of your seat.
Wow.
I think I've done the justice for the actors to direct it to the best I could for
That-
these actors. That was my job, to make them create, to put them in places where they could do what they do. And lo and behold, Miami, I don't know if you know this, Nikki, but Miami has its own Tony Awards. It's called the Carbonell Awards. And
Okay.
so those voters came out to see the play. They loved the play. And so right now they're thinking about recommending it for next year's Carbonell Awards, because the Carbonell Awards actually take place in a couple of weeks.
That is phenomenal. Let's manifest that happening. That's great.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and speaking about real, I read that you helped the actors disappear into their characters under like your sensitive direction. Describe that. What is sensitive direction?
Yeah, what, for me, I studied under a wonderful director by the name of John Pryor. John Pryor is now being recognized for the Vinette Carroll Award for the Carbonell Awards, and he directed me in a number of plays, and so many other actors here in Miami who are award-winning actors. And his subtle sensitivity of allowing us as actors to create on stage. A lot of times I've worked with directors who want to stand over you. They want to give you line per line per line of how you should say something. When I direct, I love for actors to bring their own creativity to it, to bring their professionalism to the workspace. And I was sensitive about what I knew they would bring. And when I saw that they were getting a little bit maybe off kilter or something, I'll rein them in. Sometimes I love when actors give you a whole lot and then you can bring them back. You
Yeah.
know, and then you can also, and another thing too with actors, a lot of times with film actors versus theater actors, film actors tend to come to the theater speaking very low. You can't hear them because they know it's a lot of microphones around them. Where we as theater actors, we're always projecting. We project everything. We're over the top with our projection of words. So you can always tell the difference between the two. But man, how they all mesh together. When you get them to mesh together, it's just an incredible, incredible piece to see. And so when they said sensitivity, that was my way of being sensitive to their needs. My job was to put them in the right places, to make sure they were in the right lighting, to make sure that they could create and they could do what they needed to do, and to take me out of it. I direct like when you see a boxer when you see two boxers in the ring and you don't always see that referee, when you
Mhm.
don't see that referee and that referee lets them go at it, that's the way I like to direct, because you're paying to see the actor, not the director.
Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. And I guess they're more in control of how they're able to tap into that character and I guess and not have you in their heads as to how you want them to be. So you kind of gave them the autonomy to explore that character and to go forward and to live it as that character. Um are we gonna do we should, are we gonna should we expect to cry in a couple of scenes, or is that maybe like we should go to the production and see for ourselves?
I think you should go to the
Yeah.
production and see if it's, oh, well, only because everybody comes to the theater different. I saw Raisin in the Sun in New York, and that was when P Diddy actually started it
Oh,
with
oh,
Felicia Rashad. It was P
oh,
Diddy, Felicia
yeah, of course.
Rashad, Audra McDonald. It was Sanaa Lathan, and I came to the theater not expecting anything. For me, as an actor and as a director, whenever I go see a film or movie or theater, I never expect anything. I try to come to it as just a layman, as a person who knows nothing about the business, so I could take in anything. And whatever I get out of it, I get out of it. I'm not a big crier, but there were times when I've seen things that some of the tears came or some of the tears didn't come. And people around me are boohoo crying. The only thing that ever made me boohoo cry like a little woman, I'll say it like this, was
Yeah.
Passion of Jesus Christ. I cried like a baby in that movie theater.
Wow. Wow.
You
Got
know.
goosebumps. Well, Teddy, I have more questions for you. We're going to a really quick commercial break, y'all. We'll be right back.
The November 5th general election. It's your voice and your vote. So make it count. Request your vote by mail ballot before October 24th. Easily track and confirm your vote online. Take action at miamidade.gov/vote by mail or call 311.
We're made, surrounded, and thrown into it, fed, energized, and supported by it. Water makes everything possible, from the very firsts to the everyday, during the make or breaks, or after lazy days, for the dreams come true, and everything in between. Because water is life.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman & Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family, our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters. Because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. The Mesman & Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
And welcome back. Now, is this production intended for mature audiences only, or can we bring anybody?
Yeah, it's for mature audiences. There's some spicy dialogue. There's some explicit language in this play. And we have had some children that were in the audience because the parents came and they said, listen, my children hear me cuss all the time.
All right.
And those children were children of some of the actors' family, and they've been to plays. So there are children who are really keen on the theater. Theater is a different animal, Nicky. I don't have to tell you. Theater is so different from film. I mean, it's live people in front of you, not behind a screen. So, and not big on the screen where you're seeing them. But these are live people. You're seeing their sweat, their tears, their emotion. It's popping right off at you, and you're sitting there, wow, So yeah, it's not intended for young audiences. I would say age 15 and up would enjoy something like this, and I think they can get a lot of it. But babies, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, I wouldn't suggest it for them.
Gotcha. Yeah. And the thing is, the difference with film and a live production is with a live production, you can't say retake or, take one, take two. Like it's live, you gotta keep going.
That's so true.
So you gotta get into character right there and then in real time, live on the stage.
Absolutely.
So what is the takeaway from this storyline?
The takeaway from this is that something you just made me actually think of this now. We tried our best not to make this like any type of attorney thing that you've ever seen on TV. Because one of the reviews in the New York Post was it was typical of an attorney show, one of those dramatic law shows, and we didn't want that to be like that. You've seen on TV millions of times of prisoners in prison, and attorney comes in the office, or things going back and forth with prisoners. And we wanted to make this as different as we could make it for you, the viewer, as much as we could. If you've never read the script, then this is going to be something of a delight for you as a person who have not read that script. You're going to probably say, yeah, I've seen some things like this before. But man, this play, Jesus Hopped the A Train, Stephen's work is really, really, really something to see. Even being in 6 weeks of rehearsal, we were in 6 to 7 weeks of just rehearsal. Oh, wow. And every night it was just throbbing, just seeing these actors just pouring it in from the very beginning, from the very first table reading up until that particular dress rehearsal, the technical rehearsals, the lighting rehearsals. It just flowed. And when it flows with the lighting, with the costume, with the set. We poured a lot into the set to make it as authentic as you possibly can. We actually originally, Nicky, we wanted when you walk in, we wanted you to feel like you were walking into an actual prison. And wow. We also wanted you to feel like when you were sitting in the audience that you were sitting in that particular seat looking into what could be an execution. Like when they have the people coming in for the execution, and so they have the person that's sitting on that electric chair and you're behind that glass. We wanted almost that effect. So, budget don't always allow you to do that. So, but we tried our best to make it make you feel. Carmen Morris, my great colleague, she came out just saying great things. And so if Carmen said it was great, I'm good.
Perfect. Good. And speaking of that, so where can we find more details, the dates, times, and ticket purchase?
Sure. Yeah. So people can go to your viewers, your wonderful viewers can go to ahcacmiami.org. ahcacmiami.org. And Nikki, just to let you know, I'm glad you got it right. We just named our center the Marshall L. Davis Senior African Heritage Cultural Arts Center, named after that wonderful gentleman who is still around for 40 years, still working here at the center, Mr. Marshall L. Davis Sr. And so this is one of the first plays under his name that we are doing under his name. So, and I think he's really glowing based on the reviews. We had a wonderful review based on the audience reviews, based on the fact that Miami Soul is, and Nicky G is giving us some love here. This is just incredible stuff.
Yes.
Incredible stuff. And Nicky, if you don't mind me, if we could just, we talked about Enrique, but there's some other actors in this play I would love to mention their names because they'll if I don't mention their names. Linda Mendivel is in the play. Her character is Mary Jane Hanaran. We also have Jean Hippolyte. He's a Haitian American, an incredible actor. They all are incredible actors. He plays Lucius Jenkins. We also have Ricky J. Martinez, who has been a South Florida theater actor, director, writer for many years. They've named a Miami Day after Ricky J. He's incredible. Wow. Ricky on stage, so he plays Valdez, and lo and behold, last but not least, Dimitri, and I'm going to say his name wrong, and he's going to kill me. Narase, I think I pronounced it right. He plays the amigo, and so these particular 5 actors, I can tell you, they just bring it for me. And I know I'm saying this because I'm the director, but you'll see it for yourself. I mean, the audiences are walking away and they're saying, wow. And they're also saying, wait till other people see it. And now with the love you're giving us right now, Nikki, your viewers are going to want to come see the show.
For sure, definitely. It's always a great production. Like, you know, at the African Cultural Arts Center, like it's so artistic. It's so different. It's a different experience. And this is definitely a different experience compared to what I've seen at the Cultural Arts Center. So looking forward to this one. And Teddy, thank you so much. We'll definitely drop the ticket link as well when we go ahead and post this video on socials and also when we air it as well. So looking forward to it. Super excited. I will be there in attendance. I'll be capturing my little, you know, my I'm not going to be recording it, but a little teaser, you know what I'm saying? Yes. For the ones that did not attend, hey, look what you missed. So looking forward to it again. Thank you so much. And yeah, enjoy your day. We'll see you soon.
Nikki, thank you. Thank you for the love, you guys. We really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. Bye. Okay. And y'all, so we're going to another commercial break, but coming up next are my co-hosts. So Dr. Delvena, she is our board certified psychiatrist and also our arts and culture expert, Imani Latifa.
Hey, Nikki, are you ready to take the couch? It is Hope for Tomorrow. Remember, I told you guys about the DRT Brain Love Foundation and the Udonis Haslam Foundation getting together to put on a suicide prevention symposium for children and teens. I have some clips for you to check out from the event last week, starting with our MC, Jawan Strader. But first, here's a few of the vendors. We had many vendors come out and partners who shared their resources and brought out free items for the children, teens, and the parents. We had different presenters. You'll see some of that later. And now, Jawan Strader.
Education is the key to success. If I believe, I will succeed. Give yourselves a warm round of applause. Hello, everyone. I'm Jawan Strader with NBC6 South Florida, also host of Voices with Jawan Strader. I'm here for the Hope for Tomorrow event, a child and teen suicide prevention summit, something that's needed. We want to make sure that we empower our youth. We want to make sure we get away from the stigma attached to mental health. This is the first of what I hope will be many Teen Summit events here. The Hope for Tomorrow is definitely something you got to check out. but most importantly, it's all about your mental health. It's all about brain food, and it will go a long way into protecting us and saving lives. You, this is about you. Are you ready to empower yourselves?
We had groups for the children and the teens, and we also had work groups for the parents. John Acosta from Family Constellations came in with his partner, Dr. Yamale, and here they are.
20 people. Just a little bit. 20 people. Not 26 like we did last time. Well, whoever wants to come up, and we're going to line up in 2 lines right here. Starting.
Did you not see that power in the room? Stepping into their power and their full potential? Come on, 20 more. Could be the same people, or we could have some new ones.
Yeah. Whoever wants to come up.
Come on, don't be shy.
Come on, I know you want to do it. All right, there we go.
Yes.
There we go.
I know you want to do it.
All right.
Some of the classes for the children and teens included nutrition. We also did classes on self-esteem, social media, addiction, and conflict resolution. Here is a little snippet from the conflict resolution class that was taught by Delvin Rogers from his business, Calm.
More carefully and stop being reactive, right, to situations. Everything doesn't deserve a reaction. Process and think about it, right? But don't take it personal. That was just an activity, all right? Don't jump me outside like, let's get them, all right?
And a class from Eat Well Exchange, the brain food class. Yes.
Avocado and broccoli, right? So now these would be foods that have something that starts with an F that's good for our digestive system. Fiber. So fiber also comes from whole grains. Does anybody know what whole grains are?
Right.
Or grains, what grains are? Oatmeal.
Right.
What is that? Rice. So like brown rice. Anybody eat oatmeal?
That's all I have for you, Nikki. Hope for Tomorrow was a success. We will be back next year for our 2nd annual summit at Miami-Dade College North. Hey!
That's all I have for you today, Nikki. Say brain love, brain love, brain love.
Peace and beautiful blessings, my MIA fam, and welcome to another Arts and Culture Report by Imani. This time visiting the History Miami Museum, downtown Miami, for the exhibition Sanctuary, Our Sacred Space. Miami truly indeed is a sacred space, and our brother Wuzzler, photographer, curator, has taken 5 years to execute this fabulous exhibition. It is about churches, it is about masjids, it is about all sacred spaces, from voodoo ceremonies to the sacred Day of the Dead that is celebrated in Mexico. We pay homage. Here is what he had to say.
I want people, when they come to this form of sanctuary, because the name of the show is Sanctuary, I want them to see themselves. I want them to understand that how we hold on to our tradition, how our tradition, our culture has traveled from the continent to the Caribbean and also here. I want people to be safe when they come to the show. Matter of fact, I don't know if you add this part to it, but for the opening, folks would put their shoes outside of the church as they were walking in.
Really?
Yes. We have to create it.
Yeah.
Again, when people think of Miami, they think of South Beach, the condos, they think of Wynwood.
Right.
But when you come into the show, you see what Miami really looks like.
Right.
Then it hits you like, oh my gosh, I've been in this bubble.
Yes.
I've been in this bubble for so long, not knowing that we got folks that's running around here, showcasing their spiritual, their tradition. Where's our safe space? We got all these folks running around, running around during the protests and everything. I'm like, damn, what do we go? So I have my little notepad, and I wrote down sanctuary. I legit wrote down sanctuary during COVID.
Yeah.
Then when I won this fellow, I was thinking about what project I'm gonna work on. So I'm looking at my notes, and different ideas was coming. Voodoo in Miami, Ifa in Miami, this in Miami, that in Miami. And I remember something says, I was looking at the notes, say sanctuary as we pray. But you know what? And that was the name, Sanctuary, Sacred Space.
Yes, guys, it was such a pleasure to talk to the brother and talk about what sacred spaces are in South Florida. So, guys, this is it from our Arts and Culture Report. Please make yourself available to see Sanctuary as the exhibition has just started. So, it's going to be up for a little bit of time. And thank you so much for watching my Arts and Culture Report. See you on the next side. Peace and blessings.
The November 5th general election. It's your voice and your vote. So make it count. Request your vote by mail ballot before October 24th. Easily track and confirm your vote online. Take action at miamidade.gov/vote by mail or call 311.
We're made, surrounded, and thrown into it, fed, energized, and supported by it. Water makes everything possible, from the very firsts to the everyday, during the make or breaks, or after lazy days, for the dreams come true, and everything in between. Because water is life.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman & Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family. Our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters. Because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. The Mesman & Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
All right, y'all, and it's a wrap. So again, another big shout out to our featured guest today, Director Teddy Harrell. He is bringing us to production Jesus Hopped the A Train. It's taking place at the Marshall L. Davis Senior African Heritage Cultural Arts Center. And also big shout out to my co-host, Dr. Delvena and Imani Latifa. Y'all, thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.
We are Black excellence.